why this is conspiring against people. And one person is bombarded with all that stuff that multiple people are doing to them, that by the time you realize it, you have so much that has happened, because one person couldn't have done these things. It has to be a group of people. It has to be a gang of people doing it to victims, because we wouldn't have the means to. The other part of that, so that's one part. The other part is the V2K, the talking. So when there's a news report, I told you I don't want to talk too much about news in New York because I'm familiar with New York, but someone uses the F word for gay people, which they falsely accused me of using, and I showed the thumbnail from the person who they claimed I used it on. He wouldn't have given me a good review or even any sort of thing if I had called him that. But then after, when they kept saying I used that word and I'm arguing with them in my apartment, then when I used it, they got really upset. So then they claimed that they were members of that group. Now, here's my problem with that. If you're a member of that group, why would you insist on using that word to victimize yourself? So that's my point. This is a bunch of stupid people trying to victimize certain groups by using words that we would not have used on ourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't call myself not my name, but they do it to provoke. And that's what this is about. It's about provoking a reaction. And I'm going to use a thumbnail on this video, and I'm going to call this. It's about constantly provoking a reaction against one person usually. They can't do it against another gang this way because most gang members, I guess, don't live together. So if you have a gang of people living in an apartment or home, and then another gang does this to them, then it would be a gang of people being victimized, which is hard because then everyone would know it's happening, which is something they said. They said they don't do this with people who live in a big group because everyone will hear it. This is supposed to make one person the victim and one person seem nuts. If you make a group of people seem nuts, which is what's going on now, once everyone hears this, everyone says, wait, I hear this, you hear this, and we're all documenting it. So that's part of why when they're talking, they're telling part